Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm France Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up at frenchiestamps.com in the US. Today it's the Diamond Tunnel. See this? Fun. Many cards are out there right now with that. Denise asked me to do a video, and so I look around and I came up with my own thing. It was so many things. I done the fish way back in a couple of years ago. So I will have the video of the fish at the end of this one. See the fish mouth? It's about the same thing except if the reverse. But if you look inside, see? Oops, can you see that? It is the fish card, right? So it's kind of a fun one. Let's get started. I'm going to share lots of tips that's going to make this card very simple. One thing that I'm going to say to make it very simple, you want to have just plain copy paper. If you remember, I did a tip video on how to find the center. Well, in this project, this is going to come so much handy. So I'm going to tell you the piece of paper that we need in copy paper. So this here, it's the size of the front of the card. It measures the front of a card, when you fold that in two, like this here, it measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You're going to fold it in two on one direction and then fold it back in two. That's how we're going to find center, and it makes so much easier. Did I say it? So much easier. Now, this is going to be to do our piece here if we don't use the leftover of this. So what you need, it's a piece of 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. We're going to fold it in two and fold it in two again. Now, we need a piece for our strip that measures 1/7/8 by 5 1/4. 1/7/8 by 5 1/4. Now for this one, we're going to go a little bit different on this one. We're going to fold this one in two, and now that's right. Fold it in two. Now we know the center here. Now from the top, you're going to put your ruler and you're going to mark 1 1/2 here. And at the bottom, make a little mark, 1 1/2. Not 1 1/2. I'm sorry, half inch. Half inch. Did I say 1 1/2? No, it's half inch, half inch. Now in the center, where we get our mark, you're going to do half inch there also. Voila. Now, you can take scissors, cut, or you can take your paper trimmer here, and you're going to put your mark there and your mark right in the center. So when you close this, you should see your mark there and your mark there. See this? Now you're going to cut this. If you don't go all the way, that's okay, because we can cut by hand. Now flip this around, your mark and your mark, or you can use your scissors too. If you get a steady hand, absolutely you can use your scissors. Let's lift this up so we don't cut the whole thing there. So your mark again, to your mark. And I got lucky there. Usually I have to take my scissors to finish it because we don't really see through, but it cut at the end here, okay? Like your blade, that's where the cutter is, right in the center here. Okay, this piece here, very important. Leave that aside. Now, the card base itself, it's a regular one, half a sheet, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. You're going to take this, you're going to score that at 4 1/4. Score that at 4 1/4. Now we have to score half of that. It's going to be 2 1/8. 2 1/8. We're going to score this. Now, that is when that our centerpiece gonna come in super handy. So then we don't have to find bits and pieces, okay? So let's fold this here. Now, we need to find the center here. So instead of measuring and so on, I'm gonna put this right here and use a pencil. Also with your pencil, you want a nice eraser. So I like the white eraser, or some it's called kneaded eraser, that don't leave it really erase good. So take a pencil that you're going to pay a little bit more maybe, but it's erase good. This one, it's clear 0.5 by Paper Mate. So you just want a pencil that it's friendly when you erase. Now we're going to make this here. So this, we know it's our center right there, okay? Perfect. Now, we're going to go 3/4 inch, I'm sorry, 3/4 inch right here. Make a mark. And 3/4 inch from your center. I like to, again, we're going to take this so I know it's straight all across. Oops, this way. So now I know my center, it's right here. So I don't have to guess at the end. We're going to go 3/4 and make our mark. And come over here and 3/4 also. So every direction, top, bottom, and all sides need to be marked at 3/4. So we got 1, 2, 3, and now the top. In the center, we got our score line. So we don't need the paper there, okay? Because we already get our score line. Et voila. So now, simple as that. You're going to bring your paper pierce, open the card. I need my score tool. Here it is. And I like to use the fine tip. So we got the bigger tip and the smaller tip. I like to use the smaller tip for that. You're going to take your ruler and put it at the mark and then the mark there and score this. Oh. You want to press, but not so hard that it go through the paper, okay? Now that point to that point. And we're going to do that on the fourth side there. The reason why I like to put this, it's because it gives an indent to score better. It make it easier. If you don't use that, you have to go back and forth quite often. It's not a must. You can do it without that, but it make it much easier, okay? So when using the pierce in the back, you don't want to press so hard. But let's say you go on a surface, a hard surface, then you're going to press very much harder, okay? You would really have to indent that. Et voila. So now, you see we got a diamond shape right here. Okay, let's remove this. And we're going to bring our paper cutter. And the only thing we want to cut is from that point to that point. I like to erase the center now because it's done. We don't have to use it anymore. So I'm going to erase it. Now we're going to put that. So in the center on this way, you know it's at 2 3/4. That's the center, okay? Now I'm going to bring my blades and you see the dots there. So I can start it in the center and push it. And then here. Look like I'm not quite in the center. Oh, close enough. Et voila. Now, let's remove this. And now we're going to remove. I'm off a little bit, but I think I can make it though. So, the beak, I call that the beak, need to go in. While the fish, they were coming facing you, this one going to go in. So, you're going to take this and press it like this. That's why I call it a beak. And right in the center there. 1 minute there. Okay, go in. Here we go. Okay, fold this right there. You see, right there. Now you can bring that back. Maybe it's better if I put it down. Here we go. And bring it back. Okay, I'm having a challenge here, but trust me, we're going to have that. Okay, this is this way. Oh, I'm going this way. Here we go. Here we go. So bring that in the center here. Now we can push it in. I knew it was an easy way because I done it and I didn't have no problem. Now I'm going to push this. Here we go. You just have to wiggle it a little bit. The other time I did it, it was not that tricky. Put it that way. Here we go. And push that in. Could be that, just that little bit I was, here we go. Push it. Now that you get this, take your bone folder, reinforce this, et voila. So you just have to push it. After it's done, I mean, it's done. That's it, right? Okay, for each side, I'm using the pencil, what it's called, pencil something. Pretty pencil, I think, or draw pencil. I'm gonna have all the name. Sorry, I'm blank right now. The name on my blog right below. You get the direct link. I think it's the pretty pencil. So now it's gonna bug me. I won't be able to concentrate. So let's check it out. Right? Okay, the paper. Perfectly penciled. It's the black and white here on page 133. Perfectly penciled. It measured 178 by 5 1/4. Well, now remember we did our pattern here. So with our pattern, you can use scissors and cut this, or you can make your mark and do the same thing than we did with this. Whatever worked best for you. I prefer to use my scissors just because I already done the mark and I feel this is good enough for me. So I just going to come right here and then turn it. Okay, this here, keep this. You could use that for your centerpiece here. I didn't like the print. See, they're sideways. I would have to cut my paper the other way. But let's say it's a print that you would like. What you're going to do is bring that to your paper trimmer. I am not using that, but you're going to get the jig of if you want to use it, okay? You're going to put it on your paper trimmer just past that darker, right where it started the light there. So it's like 1/8 of an inch we're going to remove. So I leave that straight there. Close this, hold this side, and cut. See, I don't even know if it's 1/8 of an inch, more like 1/16 of an inch. Now this here, I take this, I line that up on the line so I know it's straight, put my point in the opening, and cut it. So now we got our triangle that we need for the center. I'm going to show you how that works if we would use those one. So let's say you don't like the reverse print. It happened many times that we don't like the reverse print. Well, that's when you want to use a piece that measures 2.5 by 3.5. And again, we did our centerpiece here, right? So we're going to mark that I am using, the bag to mark it. And I'm going to use a pen, a red pen, because it's hard to see on black and white. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to make a mark there. I need the bottom there. So you want to have, let's make sure it's centered there. You want to have the center, top, bottom, and all side, okay? So here it is. Center, center. Now we're going to flip this the other way so we can have the center of each one. This is why I like this trick here to find the center. I don't have to measure every direction. So now that we got this, see, red, 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 what you're going to do, you're going to put your red mark there, red mark there. You're going to cut this. That we will not use. Turn it around, red mark, and cut. This I will not use. I can use it for another project maybe, but not for this one, okay? Cut. And then again, this and this. And then we're going to cut. So now, you see, we got our kites, I call it, right? So, that is for the center of this. Now, we need to cut this in half and back in half. So, put the point in the point. That's the way I like to cut it. Point and point, and then turn it around. If you can keep it together, even better. You just have to do it once. And cut it. Now, we got our 4 triangles. Kind of triangles, right? Here we go. The other piece that we need, it's a piece of, well, cardstock. I'm using basic black. And this piece of designer series paper, I use the same print that's going to go on each side. It's all from the same pack, okay? This is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. While the black, it's 1 1/2 by 5 1/2. And I will have all measurement and all the product that I use on my blog. You get the direct link right below. Now I'm going to place this here. But see how to cut the paper and that. Remember, on the video, you can go back and forth, rewind and so on. Et voila. Keep that aside. Now, we're going to put each side here. So if you do a print, one thing that you want to make sure though, let's say this, see it was going sideways. You need it on the long way when your print to go, okay? So that's one thing you want to keep in mind if it's a print that got any direction to it. This one, you want your print to go on the long way because it would look funny this to go this way, okay? Now, again, the best way that I find to glue any bits and pieces of this card, it's with Tombow. And the main reason why I absolutely love Tombow for a project like this, it's because if I'm not right on at the first time, it gives me the room to wiggle it before it bond. Like if I use a tape, it's really going to be permanent quick. And it's a good chance that I'm off and so on. While with Tombow glue, liquid glue, I get the chance to wiggle it around. Wiggle, wiggle. See here, I had to wiggle quite a bit. Et voila. It looked kind of funny right now with all the score line and that, but it's going to be much better. One thing that I didn't do that I see right now, it's I didn't erase my mark here and my mark there. Here we go. And I was off a little bit, but I think I still can make it. So maybe that's why I had a tough time to, you know, fold it. So when I put it on my board, I was off a bit. You see, that's the center in my line. It's there, but it's still going to work. Now, here are your prints. So just look. See your diamond, boom, boom, and oops, there and then there. Okay, so you see this is going to work. Now, this was the one that we cut from the center. So before we glue this, okay, I'm going to put this like this so I know which direction. Oops. That. Okay. Well, this one just want to get stuck. So this is the one that we trim on the side there. Like I said, the print is going on the wrong way, but oops. Et voila. This way. This way. So if you see right now it's a little bit too long still, I would need to cut a sliver more, okay? So I would maybe cut, really it's about 1/8 of an inch that you want to cut on the side. Et voila. Then you would have your center. So you can use the center of this if the reverse print is what you want. If not, you know what to do. So you get both ways to do. Now we're going to glue this. Again, I'm using Tombow. Tombow is my BFF when it comes to this. So my sliver was very sliver. So just go a little bit wider. That's it. So before really that you cut it in back in two, because really it's two, one here and one there. Just put it on the center here and see if that you should cut more. You're going to be able to tell, because you won't see inside the score when you put it on the center here. Really, it was not much though. I could really trim it by hand too. Here we go. And another thing, when you want to make sure, you know, sometimes both sides, one way going to go one direction and the back going to go the other direction. So really, you cannot use it. It would look funny to have flowers or something, or maybe some wording going one direction and then the other. So now you get the option to do it differently. Now, I am using the greeting from Nature Prints. Now this was my most struggle, well, folding my beads maybe on this one, but overall it was for to place the stamp. Let me show you what I've done. Before, we're going to put our side. That is what's going to keep the card popping, you know, secure there to, well, like this here. See? Boom. So we need to have, we want to have some dimensional, because it needs to be raised up so it gets something to sit against. Because if it's flush, it got nothing to sit against. So let's put dimensional here. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and maybe my head's going to be in the camera there. Et voila. Okay. Now let's reinforce this good. The reinforcing, like I said, it's what make it or break it. One or the other, right? Here we go. Et voila, now it's going to stand there. Et voila. Okay, what I done, I took my stamp set and I drop it in here. Okay, now I'm like, okay, when I put it on my block and go get the ink, I'm going to be lost. So what I done, put a line, 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 line. So I need to stay around that. Now I took my stamp set. I'm going to get Memento Black. That's the color I want because everything is pretty much black and white. Now I'm going to come here and stamp my greeting there. So your greeting really should be about 1 by 1. Is that about right? Let me check. So 1 1/4 by, yeah, the biggest one I would go 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 would be the largest one. Now again, like I said, you want a pencil that erases very nicely with your, because it's some pencil that really just leave a black mark, and not only that, but the eraser make it horrible. Et voila. Here it don't even show up. Maybe a little bit more here. Et voila. How clean this is, right? And now see. Okay, before I tuck it under there, let's decorate that. So this one, I decorated with the Daisy Punch, with Daffodil Delight, and my dragonfly are in the real red. Some of you maybe remember that I share, we had red dragonfly in Texas last year. Some people say, oh, it's bad luck. Well, let me tell you, I read it could be very, very good luck. So it all depends what you read, right? So I did for this one, just to give a different look, I use Melon Mambo, and I used 2 of the Daisy Punch, and I sponge around, and this I did a little circle in black there. I'm going to put that right here. Now I'm going to go ahead, the other one, I'm going to put that right on the side here. And then my little dragonfly, this time my dragonfly are in the yellow. So I just switched that a little bit. I love yellow with black. Real red, it's very awesome with black also. Daffodil Delight, it's very beautiful with black. So whatever that you feel like, that's what you're going to do. It's no right and wrong. If you don't want dragonfly, you want to put whatever. You just need a little bit of decoration, right? Here, voila. So now, this is going to get tucked there. Okay, let me stand it up. Okay, this one, let me just, maybe we have to play with it a little bit, but we're going to get it, voila. This one here, maybe this one I play more with it. Here, let me just, here we go. Et voila. And then this one, oh, that one open again. Let me see this one here. Very, very lovely. It could be just that little off that I was in the center, but I don't think so though. I think I just need to, here we go. Tuck it under. Voila. How beautiful that is. So I hope this inspire you to create. Again, I will have the fish card at the end of this one, another video if you're interested in the fish. It's about the same thing, okay? So that's about it. And me, I'm calling this the diamond tunnel because really it's kind of a diamond tunnel. Till next time, happy stamping, my friend. Bye-bye for now.